Okay. So, welcome to the debate. Today we're doing the Bills v. the Broncos. And the Bills have established themselves as a better team in the NFL now, where the Broncos are now an up-and-coming team. They're definitely, especially last year, they were a better team than their record suggested, in my opinion. So it should be a pretty fun one. So let's first start off with the QB position. I think it's pretty fair to say that right now, I think that we have the better QB. He's more developed than Drew Lock, and he's further along in his process. I mean, would you disagree with that?
For sure. Drew Lock only played like 5 games.
Yeah. So we can go on to the running back position, which with the addition of Melvin Gordon, I would say you guys currently have the better running backs. Do you guys have anything to say about that?
For sure, yeah.
Nah, yeah.
Even without Gordon.
I think that's a little bit up for debate, in my opinion, but I think Melvin Gordon has been proven in the league. Frank Gore, nah. Did you say? We don't have Frank Gore.
Who else?
Yeah, that's
TJ
where we're
Yeldon.
probably going to
TJ
go.
Yeldon.
And there's Alvin Kamara trade rumors, too.
But we don't have him
if
yet.
we-
We're not
it's also
talking
a
about...
draft.
Yeah.
We're talking about right now.
If we had him, I'd give us the running
You know,
back core.
I'm going to be honest with you. That might be a little much to say.
With
I just think Melvin Gordon is still got it, but I don't know if his production is going to be as good as it was in his great years
Definitely
with
not.
the Chargers.
Well, actually, believe it or not,
I don't know.
Although he was a touchdown machine some years, for example, in 2018, he has only had one season with 1,000 yards rushing. So, I mean, 2016 he was close, but didn't break 1,000. But what I'm saying here is like, he's definitely he's a good running back. But I'm like with that Lindsay, Melvin Gordon duo, definitely you guys have the better running game right now.
Yeah.
Or running back.
I think
position.
the committee would help him.
If we didn't have Gordon, I would give it to y'all.
Yeah. This is gonna be. I think a pretty. I think this is easy. Wide receivers goes to us. Anything against that? I mean.
No.
Yeah. I
love Court and Sutton, but
we got Sutton, but y'all got Diggs,
John Brown,
Cole Beasley.
Y'all have Sutton and like Hamilton.
We got Hamilton and like
yeah.
Patrick.
I like Sutton a lot. I think he's gonna be a great player, but
I think he's gonna be elite. To be honest with you.
Oh yeah,
I
have him in fantasy. I love.
Okay, I got like 3 and good 4. We got Cortland Sutton and the rest are just no names.
Yeah. So yeah, we have wide receiver, tight end. Now I'm gonna go pull up your roster because I'd say Noah Fant is better than our lead receiving tight end Dawson Knox at this point. But I'm gonna go look up your roster.
Yeah, let's still double check the stats on that one too.
I forgot who. I think it was the.
He's ranked your third guy right now. Let me compare these stats though, because even Noah Fant did do good, but I think Dawson Knox actually did better than most of us think. So let me just double check that.
Dawson Knox had 250. Noah Fant had 500.
No, I thought Knox had like 370.
No.
There's no way he only had 250.
Oh, let me see. He had 388.
Yeah.
Oh, 388. I guess that thing I said. Okay, so you
so
guys
we'll
have Noah Fant. No, but we're also. I'm gonna look at depth here. You guys have. In terms of relevant tight ends, you have Noah Fant.
How is it? Just
who's your blocking tight end? Just wondering.
I think we picked up a blocking tight end from the Lions. I forgot his name.
Is it Jeff Hewerman or is it Nick Van Nett?
Nick Van Nett. There you go.
Oh yeah.
At this point, I think you guys currently could say you guys have the better tight end position. But definitely with the returning of Jason Kroom, who had a pretty nice 2018 season. And also the amount of depth we have. Hopefully our tight ends will develop in the 2020 season, and we'll be able to see a better thing for our point of view. But right now, I'll give you guys the tight end position. O-line.
Broncos O-line is pretty weak.
Yeah, you guys have a
I
pretty.
like Dalton Rissner,
You guys have a pretty rough.
but losing your center last year.
Yeah, who's your center
Yeah,
now?
he's a good
Nico
center.
Fala.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Austin.
There are no
Schotman.
notable names from what I see.
It's like Dalton
Except
was
Rissner.
a rookie, so.
Currently, I would say that we have the better O-line.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I would put our
I
O-line
agree.
right in the middle of the league.
Yeah.
So I'm
16.
not saying it's something special, but I still think.
Okay,
Take that.
now, going to D-line. What do you... Okay, so I'm not going to include, like, if Bradley Chubb or, Von
those are
Miller would be
linebackers.
rushing. I'm saying the actual D-line ends, things like that. So, I would say we have... if we're not including people that are technically linebackers, I would say us.
I agree. Because we picked up Jefferson, Addison, Butler.
Ed Oliver in the middle.
Oh, yeah, and Oliver, Harrison Phillips.
Would you disagree with that? Anything to say on that?
I really wouldn't. Well, I mean, we got Jarrell Casey. We also
Oh,
got,
yeah, you guys got him.
Casey's kind.
We
Is he-
got Shelby Harris.
You guys have
Draymond
an
Jones,
old Bill
but yeah, I'll
player.
give it to y'all.
You guys have an old Bill player at tackle.
Who?
Kyle Pecco. He's irrelevant. But yeah, the only thing I'd say about Jarrell Casey is that he's old.
He's like 30, I think.
Yeah, and I mean,
Mhm.
some people can play into their 30s. It's from what we've seen, Jarrell Casey hasn't been able to do that at a high level anymore.
Yeah, for
or at least
sure.
a very high level. So I would say us. Linebackers is going to be a very fun one, I think. Obviously highlighting with Bradley Chubb and Von Miller, us highlighting Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds. So my one thing I would say about Von Miller is that he is 31.
Yeah. We got two young rising stars.
And we
I think the guys we got fit our system better. So like, who I would rather have for us, I would rather have our guys, but I think you could also argue the other way.
What do you have to say about that?
Yes, Von Miller is pretty old, but I would still put him like as a top 5 or top 10 like linebacker. And Bradley Chubb, he did get hurt, but in his rookie season, he actually played pretty well.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
like
he was
Von
good.
Miller and Bradley Chubb are more like
And our middle
rush heavy
linebackers aren't
guys,
that bad.
and
got
ours are
Alexander
more
Wilson
and Todd
stay back
Davis.
kind of guys. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to compare that.
Yeah, we have coverage
Different
linebackers.
defensive systems. So
Yeah, it is tough because, yeah, like Encina said, I think that was, we have two different
I said
types
it,
of
I'm
line.
better.
Oh, yeah, John said we have two different types of, like, how they play. But even highlighting what Von Miller has been doing in terms of rushing, he had 8 sacks last year. I mean, if we're talking Von Miller numbers, that's not that good. But
Yeah.
I think that I would personally put this one as an even one. An even
Yeah, I would-
matchup.
Yeah, same.
Because I
It all
can't...
depends on the
yeah,
system.
I think I'm gonna lean a little towards the Bills, but it's all
Just
about the
because
system.
we have
so.
it's
Yeah, because you
about
guys
the
have
system,
you guys
so-
have one old guy and then one injured guy.
young
so
guy.
yeah.
That's what kind of skews it for me.
But I think it would be decently fair, in my opinion, to say call it even. Currently, just because Bradley Chubb is really young still. So, I'd like to now go to I think we could go to safeties. I think corners is pretty simple for me anyway. You guys now. Your leading cornerback is
Is it Boye?
Wait, who is your leading back or cornerback now?
Is it AJ Boye?
Yeah, and our second's
Yeah.
Callahan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
AJ Boye.
Ours are better. Our
We'll
corners
go
are
Bills
better.
there.
Trey
So-
White, Josh Norman.
I would have
Levi.
Tre'Davious over
Wow.
Boye any day.
I'm gonna go right to safeties because obviously you have quite the stud in Simmons, who really improved a lot this year. But after Simmons, who is
Kareem Jackson.
Okay. Kareem Jackson. I would say our safeties are better.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
we've talked
Well,
about
Jordan
this.
Poyer, Micah Hyde duo is
Yeah.
at least top 2 in the league, if
Jordan-
not one.
Jordan Poyer's top 5 safety, in my opinion. I mean, his
He's very
stats
underrated.
his stats were way better than Tyrann Matthews' stats.
Yeah, they did a stat comparison, and he's
I put
making
that
way
up in
less
my
money.
story, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Um,
Like people don't even know who he is, and he's literally has top 3 stats in the league. He's probably the best tackling safety that I've seen. It's
Micah Hyde.
not even just interceptions, but pass breakups too. It's insane. Like he just goes horizontal in the red
Yeah.
zone.
I see that a lot. Micah Hyde just gets all of his
Hits hard.
interceptions.
Mhm.
Yeah, Poyer hits really hard. And he has Rachel Bush.
but yeah, I mean, like anything you would say, like obviously Justin Simmons is a stud, but I think that our duo is overall better.
Yeah, if Kareem Jackson
In
was just a
terms
little
of
bit
duo.
better, we could maybe call it even. But yeah, I would go with the Bills.
Okay, so
Okay,
Now
so
that
that will wrap up our position.
I would like to quickly
Portia?
talk more. What were you saying, John?
Now we'll probably move into more of like just questions and answers about maybe the
I have some
draft next
questions.
year,
So
and upcoming more in
I
the
have a
future stuff.
question.
okay, what's your question?
Okay, so teams like Oakland or Las Vegas, the Jets and the Niners pick right ahead of you, and they're all likely to take a receiver. Do you see yourselves trading up to get one of those top 3 receivers?
Yes, I do because I mean,
I
outside
agree.
of Cortland Sutton, we really don't have any other wide receivers.
Yeah, in my mock draft I actually made today, I made you guys trade up to Cleveland because Cleveland can easily take a safety later in the first round. So
So
Yeah, we could just go in order so that Walker can go and then I'll go.
Okay, so my next question for you would be about Drew Lock. Obviously, he didn't play the entire season, 5 games, but from what you've seen, what are your personal thoughts about him? Can you build a team around him? Can he be your franchise guy? And do you need someone to compete with him? Because honestly, Joe Flacco's not going to do it. Opinions on that.
So what I saw from when he went 4-1 at the end of the season, I know he could close out a season, but in those 5 games, we weren't gonna make the playoffs. So the Broncos and Drew Lock didn't really have any pressure. But when we start the season, you got pressure. Like, what if the Chiefs win? That means you got to keep pace with them. What if you only 1 win up on your division? You got to keep pace. What if you lose? How can you bounce back? So really, I found out that Drew Lock could finish the season, but I want to see how he starts it. If he starts off well in the first few weeks, then I'll be pretty happy with Drew Lock.
Mm-hmm. And in reference to like competition in the quarterback position, what would you like to see? Any additions there, etc. You know, what would you like to see there?
On Drew Lock?
Yeah, like just some competition in the quarterback position. Because most quarterbacks thrive when they have a competition or they're fighting for their position, or at least they're feeling like that. So, some teams will add some depth in the quarterback position for that very reason.
I mean, we did add a Lions quarterback, but no, I don't really think Drew Lock will have any competition.
Yeah, we're not saying you need it. We're just asking, like, do you think that would be a good idea?
Do you think it would be helpful to him in his
Yes,
development?
because he's in a second year, so he'll put more pressure on him to play well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
John? You got anything?
Well, I've got a couple questions, but would you rather hear a more negative question or a more positive question first?
Give me the negatives.
All right, we'll do the negative. So the Bills played the Broncos
We don't talk about that.
last year, and I couldn't help but notice how we'll use arrogant the Broncos media was going into that game. We heard a lot of things like that Wednesday was going to run all over us, that this wasn't going to be a game. We've only played easy teams. And then we played the game. I can look up the score.
I was at
Wednesday
that
did
game.
not
I
have
think it was
production.
20-0.
Bills,
No,
it
I
was
thought they got a
free
field goal.
Broncos.
I thought they got a
Yeah,
field goal.
23.
So
I wasn't saying we were
my
gonna
so
win
my
the shot.
question, that's just the background. My question to that would be, were the fans feeling the same way, or was that just like the media that was talking like that? Like, did you guys actually think the Bills were a serious team at this point? We were 7-3 going into the game.
Well, I'm in a Broncos group chat and we talked about it, and some people, we were like 50-50. I honestly didn't think we could beat y'all. Because y'all were 7-3 at the point, I believe. So, and yes, you also played easy teams, but you actually had a really good defense, a really good offense. I didn't really think we would beat y'all, especially with our quarterback. It was Brandon Allen at the time, I believe.
Yep.
Against the Browns, we almost let them come back. So Brandon Allen almost lost the game against the Browns with Baker Mayfield. Yes, they were playing all right, but they weren't that good. So I honestly didn't think we would beat y'all.
Yeah, and I can understand like where some of that came from. Like, we were struggling with the run. They thought Wednesday was going to take over, but like the whole time I was thinking like, who's going to throw the ball? What if we do stop Wednesday? They're going to be forced to throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the
When
negative
the run
question. We'll
started
get
to
that one out
stop,
of the way.
I got kind of scared because, Brandon Allen, he played all right at the Browns, but you could show that he was not ready to be a starter.
Mm-hmm.
And Cinna, you got any more questions? Because we're still going on a line.
Yeah. So obviously receiver, but what else do you guys, or what else do you see you guys taking in the draft? Whether it's the first round if you don't take a receiver, or the second.
If we don't take a wide receiver in the first round, I would honestly take a cornerback because
Yeah, that's what I was
You
saying.
guys just lost Chris Harris.
Yeah, outside of Boye, he's decent, but we also need another cornerback. So I would honestly take a cornerback and maybe a wide receiver in the third or fourth draft, just to have maybe another wide receiver, but also mostly cornerback and O-line. Because
just to build off that.
Yes.
What corner are
O-line
you
and
thinking?
our DBs and our O-lines are pretty weak.
What corner are you thinking in the first round would you want?
If I had to, most likely C.J. Henderson. That's what we've been talking about, and I like the idea, so I wouldn't be mad about that.
Now, I would like to quickly talk about, you guys added Melvin Gordon to a 2-year, $8 million per year contract. And you guys have Philip Lindsay, who in his rookie year really established himself as a good rookie back out of that class, even though he went undrafted, I believe. So my question to you is, what happens with Royce Freeman? He's too good to be a third string back. What would you like to see happen with him?
I would like to, maybe we could trade him for some picks, or maybe we could use him to trade up in the draft. But yes, I wouldn't like keeping him around because, one, that's just wasting money. And two, yes, he's too good for a third rounder. He's a good second, but a third running back, he's nah.
So I mean, he's still being paid under his rookie contract, so I don't know I don't know if anyone really wants him like that bad to like, I don't know, give like an actual early pick. I don't know if they just dump him just because it's not that much of an impact on the cap space. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually kept him and he just didn't play a lot.
Yeah, but I would like to trade him or something like that.
Yeah.
John, time for the positive question, or you still got
negatives
to go?
All right, well, I'll do a positive one. I have some negative ones too, I think, at least, unless someone takes it. But So 2 years ago, the Bears were picked to be the dark horse team, and they made the playoffs. Had one of the best defenses in the league. Cody Parkey missed the field goal, but and then last year, the Bills were picked to be the dark horse team, and they went from 6-10 to 10-6, which would have been 11-5 if we started our starters. And then made the playoffs and also had a surprising season. This year, a lot of people are saying that the Broncos are going to be that dark horse team that surprises everybody. Would you agree with that, and why?
And what do you need to get to that point?
Like I said, Drew Lock, if he actually plays well during the season, the offense could play good because we got Phillip Lindsay and Melvin Gordon, a good running back duo, and plus we got Cortland Snyder, Noah Fant, Drew Lock, all young, and so they could just boost up from that. And our defense is gonna be top 10 or better. We got Von Miller, Justin Simmons, Bradley Chubb, AJ Boye, and people like that. So I actually think we could make the playoffs. Not beat the Chiefs in the division, but I think we could just sneak in the wild card.
Now going off of what you just said, the biggest flaw I see with your team, and honestly with every single team that has had a rookie quarterback last year, even considering Allen going into this year, the sophomore season for the quarterbacks is usually seen as a dip season. In stats or play quality. I mean, just to throw a couple names out there, Tim Tebow is one, Baker Mayfield is another, just to name a couple. Now, I just want to know, what do you see as like a protection? So, like, obviously you have Noah Fant is like the under, so he can just throw it away, get it off to somebody. Yeah. But like, what would you see as like a safety valve if that were to happen, if you were to see a decreased play, like you were saying earlier, you want to see how he plays in the beginning of the year. Like, what would you want to see as like a taking over the game if he started playing for?
I would honestly just let him play it out. Even if we're losing, we gotta see if he would be our quarterback or not. See how he handles the pressure.
Yes, but like, I mean, what part of your team's game would take over if he played poorly?
Like if we had like a backup quarterback, or what do you mean?
No, like what part of the team, like a running game, defense? What do you see?
Well, I would see the defense because the Broncos have always been a good defensive team. So I would see like the defense mostly carrying the offense, like these past few years.
Okay. In center.
Kind of like us. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about
So-
person getting carried by their defense, it's us.
Yeah. So, two that are kind of the same thing, but what seed do you think you'll be in the playoffs if you make it? And then what record do you think you'll have?
Yeah.
There's 7 playoffs, right? There's
Yeah,
7 teams in
7
the playoffs?
They are doing 7 this season, yes.
I would say 6, 7, maybe 5. Because I don't expect us to be in the top 4. Because I don't expect us to beat the Chiefs in the division. But I expect us to sneak in as a wild card. I predict maybe a 10-6 record. Maybe 11-5. But I honestly.
What's your floor, though? What's your floor in that?
What do you mean?
Like
Like
what's
the
the
worst.
lowest you can see going?
Honestly, I think it's a pretty wide range.
7-9 or 8-8.
Yeah, I think
I honestly could see a range anywhere from
10 to 11-5.
Yeah, I was thinking 5-11 to 11-5. God, honestly, because you don't know with obviously that's a big range. That's playing it really freaking safe. But when you have a new head coach and a second-year quarterback, you have no idea. And kind of a follow-up question to that would be like, obviously, for you to take that step, unless Drew Lock just is a complete stud his second year, surprised everybody. It's going to need to rely on the head coach. So what do you think he brings to the team? Obviously, he was the defensive coordinator for the Bears for a while.
You're talking about Fangio or Lock?
Thank you.
Well, he came from the Bears, and the Bears were like a more defensive team. So I think he would help out the defense more than the offense. But I also think that he would help out the offense because I mean, who the Bears had Trubisky during the playoffs, they went.
Yes.
If he could take Trubisky, I think he could take Drew Lock.
Well, remember though, that was when Trubisky was playing well. Like this year was like coming into the season, people saw the Bears as an instant playoff team, but because of Trubisky's poor play, sudden drop off, garbage, trash play, that's why they were immediately fell to the bottom. So Trubisky was actually doing well at the time when they went to the playoffs. Before, I don't know, he might have been hit in the back of the head or something like that in the offseason. Like, so, like, what's your point? Like, what does he bring to the...
He's also the defensive coordinator. I don't know if he
what
had
is
much to do with any success Trubisky might have had.
Yeah.
Or failures.
And also, remember, this is a team with Khalil Mack, who they built their defense around. And, I mean, Khalil Mack's a monster. Bunch of other studs, like, what's his name? I can't really think right now. But, like, what is... John's question was, what is, like... Fangio bring in terms of being a head coach? Like, what does he do to hype up the team? What do you see in his play calling? What do you see in his, week to week, game in, game out play?
Well, first of all, he doesn't really lose faith in his team. And second, he likes to play aggressive. Because I remember I think it was against the Chargers, where we went for the Hail Mary, and it was like a pass interference that won us the game. The offensive coordinator wanted to take a knee. And he said, let's just throw it up, and that's what happened. So I think he likes to play aggressive.
I'm sorry. I see what you're saying, but, I just want to quickly go, that one Chargers thing, that was so stupid. That was not pass interference at all. In fact, I honestly thought it was going to be pass interference on the, what's it called?
Courtland Sutton.
Yeah, Courtland Sutton.
Because he kind of ran back and pushed and bumped into the defender.
But, yeah, I see what you're saying on the aggressive part side of things. One other question I want to see answered is, Chris Harris was obviously a staple in your defense for years. He was there during the Super Bowl, and besides Von Miller, he and Von Miller were your big, capable and leaders on the defense. What do you see being lost now that he's gone from the team, even if his play wasn't really keeping up with what he used to be able to do? Still, that veteran experience definitely has to make a hole in your team. And what do you see? How do you see that affecting the team?
Yeah, I think he's around his 30s, right? 30, 31-year-old.
He is 31, yeah.
Yeah, so he had a lot of experience. So maybe with Bradley Chubb or other people, even if they were just linebackers or D linemen, he could help them out because he's been in the league for around. But I also think AJ Boyer could fill that in because he's been around in the league for a while. He played for the Texans for a couple of years and the Jags, so I think he could also fit in that whole Chris Harris. Not fill it all, but I think he could fill at least some of it. Chris Harris left.
Any other questions between you guys, John, Matt?
Shit. I just had one. I forgot it though.
Well, if I can go a second time, personally, in your division, nothing against the Broncos. I like the Broncos. I wanted the Broncos to win in the Super Bowl, and I like the team. But even though I hate the Raiders and I hate their team, I have the Raiders going over you guys. I just see, especially after the draft, I feel like they could I feel like they could finish ahead of you, which would knock you out of the playoffs, basically. What would you say your advantage over the Raiders would be? Because you guys face them twice a year, you should probably know. What would your advantages be over the Raiders?
I think they have a better offense, but I would honestly say we have a little bit better of a defense. But in the AFC West, I don't think the Chargers are going to do well this season. The Chiefs are going to win the division, so I think it's just going to be a battle between the Broncos and the Raiders to see who could finish second, get into the wild card.
Okay. What do you see? I'm saying in the games, what do you see week to week that you guys would have that you guys could fix, in terms to like beat them out? Because obviously, like I said, you're gonna be competing for the second place position.
Yes.
But like, what do you see that's like better in your team that's going to make you finish ahead?
Like I said, I think I would say the defense. I think the Broncos defense is better than the Raiders. So, and plus the Raiders defense is good. But honestly, the main thing I honestly wanted the Broncos to see is stop Josh Jacobs, because Josh Jacobs he's a pretty good running back. So if we could stop him. We gotta make Derek Carr pass, or I think to stop Derek Carr, Mariota. I think I'm not sure who they got. And then our passing defense pretty good.
What was your record against the Raiders, by the way? Did you guys beat them a week, or was
Yeah,
it
we
1-1?
beat them in the last week, and they
So
beat
it's
us in
1-1.
the first weeks. Yeah.
Because I see, personally, I would see the Broncos and the Raiders. I have the Raiders better just because I think even though Carr has been basically mediocre, not mediocre, but meh, recently, I would still say they have their team more put together and ready to go. I mean, you plug in a tall, fast, strong rookie receiver, which they're probably going to go for unless they go for
there's a lot of receivers in this draft.
Yeah,
so.
They're going to go for it.
Even if you get one, they'll get one too.
Odds are that receiver is going to have a decent year, and they're going to have a more put together offense. So I know you said your defense, but like, why would I just see the Raiders finishing ahead. Personally, I feel like they have a better chance to fill what their needs are in the draft. But obviously you can disagree with that. I just personally think that the Broncos need one more year. You guys have, like, the positions of yours that are strong are pretty strong, but once again, you guys have a lot of holes, and I feel like I'd consider more of the Raiders team as just decent all around. They just can't finish. But the Broncos I see as more of a lower team. But yeah.
I would say the Broncos have a higher upside. Just because if Drew, like we know what Derek Carr is. He's just a decent quarterback. He can get it done if he's got a team and good coaching, good calls. But I think if Drew Lock balls out right away, has a great year, you guys could be pretty good. But I would agree with what was just said. That
I'm kind of the oddball here. I think if anyone can compete with you guys besides the Chiefs, it'd be the Chargers. Like, now that they have Chris Harris, and Casey Hayward, they probably have one of the top cornerback duos. As long as Anthony Lynn doesn't screw up this draft, if they get Herbert or Tua,
Which I mean,
if they get
possible.
Herbert or Tua, and then if they draft a weapon in the second or third round too, they already are expected to have a top defense this year. I think the Chargers could go 10-6 and
that's
see the
definitely a
playoffs
possibility.
again.
But you got to hit on your quarterback pick, man. And
Yeah,
not just hit on them; they got to be good right away.
If I
at
were
least
them,
decent
I'd
right
go
away.
after Justin Herbert.
there's a reason.
Because if they want to be good right away, I don't think Tua is the guy.
Well, no, that's the thing though. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this, but I've seen article after article saying that if there's a QB that's gonna bust, it's gonna be Herbert. Just because of his
I've seen that, but
style.
for Tua too.
Well,
I've
here's
seen
the thing
Tua.
with Tua.
I think the only certain one is Burrow, probably.
Yeah, Burrow's the only
I think
certain
at least
quarterback.
he's gonna have a career. He's
Obviously,
pretty much almost guaranteed to have a career.
Yeah, obviously, because he has all these traits. He has the
Yeah.
trait. He has the mobility of Russell
Drew Brees.
Wilson. He has the basically the physique. Not physique, but he has the gunslinger of Mahomes. He basically a mix between Russell Wilson and Mahomes, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
he's
he's
just
literally
a-
Drew Brees.
Yeah, he's a
got
clone
With
of
the
Drew
accuracy,
Brees.
with the accuracy of Drew Brees.
He's a
Same,
clone
around
of
the same
Brees.
size.
He's a little more mobile
He's a little bigger,
than
but
Brees.
yeah. I would say.
But anyways, back to
But
my
back
question.
to on topic.
But do you think the Chargers could end up taking the second spot in the division?
Don't be afraid to say no, too. You can disagree with what we're saying. You don't have to be nice to us.
I honestly don't see the Chargers winning the division. I don't honestly see the Chargers coming into second in division. I think they're the worst team in our division, but I don't know. If they do good in the draft, they'll also be competing against us and the Raiders in the division.
But
It just depends.
the thing
Yeah.
for me with the Chargers is, like, I didn't bring it up because I feel like they're going to take a year to kind of, sit there, feel out their new quarterback. Unless for some reason they're dumb enough to go with Tyrod. But, like, the only reason the thing I would say about the Chargers is, honestly, their entire team, their entire roster, besides that QB position, which obviously is one of the biggest positions on the team, if not the biggest, which actually, no, it's the biggest position on the team.
Yeah.
I'd say their entire roster is more put together than both the Raiders and the Broncos.
Oh yeah.
So,
QB.
You put in somebody where, like, I don't know who to bring an example of, but, like, put in a nice quarterback. Like, let's say Herbert does do good. Let's say they get Herbert and he does do good, or any quarterback they could draft. Then they could definitely be a contender in the playoffs. And honestly, I don't completely disagree with Encina that they could be the second team.
Yeah, I just don't see anything in the Raiders. Really.
Nothing's set in that
Other than
division except
Jacobs.
Kansas City winning.
Other than Jacobs, like,
The
Like,
thing
they
that's
don't
good
have
about
any
the
studs.
Chargers is that secondary. They got Harris.
yeah,
They got
Barry
Tyrell
Gaines,
Williams.
and
You
he's
imagine
not like a game changer. Like, they're definitely gonna draft
he can
Lamb
go
or
up and
Judy,
grab
in my
a
opinion.
ball. I mean, yeah, but imagine you
He's
plug
not
in
good at
Jerry
it.
Judy. You plug in Jerry Judy, and he'll. And even so,
He's not even a guarantee either. And then on their defense, they don't have any like
even
insane
so,
player.
I mean, look at the Raiders. I mean, they still got wins. They got. I mean, they.
Gosh.
1 second. What did you guys finish as?
The Bills' schedule is looking pretty
The
tough.
Broncos
next
went
year.
7-9.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're also
They
one of
still,
those good
yeah,
teams,
they still finished 7-9.
We're gonna beat the 49ers. Don't
So
have it.
imagine you get Jerry Judy, get a couple more. I mean, like, I'm not saying that I believe in Derek Carr, but still, he was considered an elite QB and they were considered Super Bowl like caliber at one point for a reason, and that was because of Derek Carr. And I think because they got Mariota, maybe he'll step it up. That's what I think of when I see the Raiders team.
I've also seen things that they're gonna draft Jordan Love. That
I've
would
seen
really
that
make
too.
a QB competition. That'd probably be the best QB competition
But
going on.
I kind of took that
in
out of my
preseason.
idea once they got Mariota.
I guess I'll see it though. Like, that'd be a hell of a competition.
No, I've got a question here. The
Mhm.
Bills play Denver in Denver next year. I want you to be completely honest with me. Who do you have in that game?
I got
Don't be afraid to say Denver and why.
Basically, last season, I got y'all. I don't think where the Broncos are able to beat y'all.
All right. And let's see. I think that's all for me.
I think that's all for me. Final thing
Yeah.
you said, the floor would be 7-9, and then the high would be 11-5. Am I correct on that? Yeah, that's what you said, right?
I think the high, you said. Oh yeah, it was long.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously, I like the Broncos better than the Chargers and the Raiders, so I'll be rooting for you guys to get a playoff position. But I think it's gonna be a tough year for you guys. A true year because you guys got a lot of young talent. So I think that this will be a true year where you guys are gonna grow and see if this is gonna be the team that's gonna bring you guys back to the playoff contention, in future years. So that's all I have to say about that. Anything else you guys want to add in?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So, thank you for joining us in the debate, and we will see you on Instagram and other things in the future. Hopefully,
Maybe another time.
yeah, maybe
can
another
come.
debate.
We'll let you know if we.
We'll let you know.
Yeah, maybe some mid-season debates too. We'll let you know.
Yeah, maybe one after the game in our season, but
Maybe before and yeah, we'll see. Honestly, we don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
with this
that's a
whole
good
debate thing
idea.
yet.
Like, every
We
team
might
we play, we do it
might be
before and
making a
after.
YouTube channel.
I mean, we do have
And-
one.
Well,
It's
yeah,
just
we
we just
did.
don't
But
advertise it that
we
much.
might be
Like,
doing like
actually make one.
pre-game and post-game stuff too. So we'll let you know.
Okay, see you, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Have a good one.